So, want to make this video to show everybody the new line of photo etch we'll be offering, and also going to do a tutorial so you can see how to properly assemble them. With these it's pretty easy. All the parts fit together. If you use the tool that I offer, everything will just slide right together, which you'll see in the video. So first off, take the label out. You've got, in here, you've got your hubs, which is right there. Those are aluminum. You've got your rubber 520 tires and your aluminum rims, which you can see need to be polished, and I'll get into that later. And the back side, you've got your rear rims. These are still a plated plastic part. I couldn't justify having those lathed. It was getting too expensive, but whatever. So that's that. And the etch, you've got, it's pretty self-explanatory. You've got your rear baskets, your front baskets, your KOs, and a few different chip options, which you can see there. All right, and these are going to be the 13-inch crosslays. So by the time this video's out, the 13 and the 14-inch crosslays will be available for now, and that's it. So when you pull these out of the bag, let's open this up. I'm not very prepared for this video. You can see they need to be polished. So once they're polished, they'll end up looking like this. Big difference, see? And I'm going to show you how to polish this stuff right now. We'll do that first. So let's start with the hub. So the hub looks pretty good as is, but it can definitely use polishing. So I'm using this Blue Magic metal polish. You can use any metal polish, it's all the same. All right, and so the hubs are best done by hand. That's the easiest way to do these. I tried using a rotary tool, and it left a bunch of scratch marks. I'm not really sure why, but just a rag in your hand is the best way to go with these. So you get a little Blue Magic on a Q-tip and just shove it on there. Just a little bit will do. Take your rag and just kind of put your fingers around the top of the hub and just work it around there. It doesn't take much to get these things looking nice. They're really soft aluminum, so just a couple minutes like that, like so. Wipe it off. I'm not going to completely wipe it off because I don't have time for that. I've got one already pre-polished sitting over here, so I'll just set that aside. And once it's polished, it should look like this. See that? Nice. And then after you finish polishing it, it's gonna have this black stuff all over it. You could just take that under some water and take a toothbrush with some dish soap and just clean it off. And afterwards, just rub some like automotive car wax, turtle wax, or the spray stuff. And that'll just keep it from tarnishing over time. So that's simple. The rim, The rim, I recommend, you could do it by hand, but I recommend using a rotary. Again, take a little black magic, dab it in there, just a little bit, you don't need much. And a polishing bit like this. Okay, so this is for a Proxon, but I imagine they make a similar bit for Dremels or whatever brand. And basically just, I'm going to turn it on. I'm just going to go ahead and hit it. Oh wait, one thing I want to point out first is this lip on the inside right there. That's the hardest part to get for some reason. So when you're doing this, you want to focus on that area, not so much the barrel, but that area. And then afterwards, this inside lip too, you got to get that as well, and the outside lip too, but focus on this inner one and this one. So just focus on that inner lip, go around, get the inside, get the barrel, get that outer lip, or whatever it is, inner lip, inner outer lip, and then go around the edges when you're done. Because there are some flaws in these, and you will need to polish them out. Basically, that's it. And when you're done, just again clean it out. Hit it with a toothbrush and some dish soap. Just stick it in there, go around, clean it up, and hit it with the wax, just like you did the hub. Okay, easy. So once you get your rim polished up, should look like this. So next step is basically put the rim in the tire. I like to leave a little bit of lip sticking out, just like that, just a little bit. And I guess, let's see, the next step is gonna be, okay, the rear basket. So you want to get one of these rear baskets out of here. You can just twist these out. That's the best way to do it with the rear basket. Don't do that with the front, but the rear basket's okay. Get that out of there. And you're gonna see it's got these little nubs here. You want to get those off. You can either like file them off, or what I do is I just take these shears and just snip them off like this. And I'll explain why we do that later on. And if you get some fingerprints on it, just wipe them off. And then you're going to take your freshly polished hub and put it inside something that'll keep it upright, like so. Okay. And as far as glue, I use 5-minute epoxy, so I got some ready to go here. And we'll just mix that up. All right. So you're gonna take a sharpened toothpick, get some of that glue, and you're gonna put little dabs on the back side of the hub, just like there, just around it. You don't want to get too much. You don't want it to squeeze out onto the spokes when you put the basket on here, but whoops. Yeah, just get some on there, like so. And then you're gonna take your rear basket and just put it on. Just put it on there. That's it. And just set that set that aside to dry. Okay, now the next step is going to be the front basket. These can be kind of tricky to remove, but these are photo etch cutters. You just want to hit it from the top and just snap it out. Which I can't really see what I'm doing because I got the phone in front of me. Oh yeah, I really can't see what I'm doing at all. Here we go. Did I cut it? I can't even tell if I'm cutting it. There we go. Okay. And there we go, it's loose. Alright, and as you can see, it got a little bent up, which is fine. It's not a big deal. You just put them back to where they're supposed to go. And if you're using the spoke bender tool, this thing, it'll straighten any spokes that you make crooked. Cutting them loose will just go back to shape anyway. So anyways, stick the basket in the bottom part of the tool like that, see, and then just simply put the top over it and press down. It's that easy. Okay, and look at that. And then the next step is we're going to drop that into the rim tire assembly. So get your glue again. And basically just go around. You want to get in the corners. You want like a little bit of glue just to hold the basket in place, but also a little bit of glue to keep the rim glued to the tire. So maybe just like six little drops. Yeah, and it's kind of hard for me to see because I got this camera in front of me. Hopefully you guys can see it okay. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Okay, and maybe smear it around a little bit so you got a little more on the back side of the rim to hold the spokes in. There, that's good. Okay, and then you just want to drop the spokes into the back of this. Just drop it in like that. Okay, and then take some tweezers like this and just push down in the center just to get it down there. And you know, make sure all the tabs on the side are resting on the rim, which they are. And as you can see, like these are all made to fit together. So once you bend the basket with the tool, it makes it fit inside this tire perfectly, and you could turn it around, you could see it's perfectly centered. Almost. Actually, I think, oh yeah, we gotta push that down. Oops. Yeah, it should be perfectly centered. I don't want it to move, but yeah, see. Okay. Yeah, and then you want to set that aside to dry. And I've got one that's already dry over here. So, and then the next step is to drop in your hub and rear basket. And I've got one of those over here already dry as well. So, and maybe this glue's still wet. It is. Okay, so Oh, okay. So next step is get a little bit of glue. You know what? I'm gonna mix up new glue. This is kind of dry. Okay. So basically, you just want to get a drop of glue maybe on the top of every other one of these front basket tabs. Just enough to hold the rear basket in place. Oops. I guess you guys can't see that. Like that. Okay, and then as far as the glue goes on the hub, so just a few drops outside that little top nipple part, just like that. And then you're gonna want to grab it with your tweezers. Like that, and you just simply drop it in the back. Easy. Okay, so, and then you can turn it around, and you can see that nipple on the hub comes outside the middle of that front basket just perfectly. And then you know you're lined up, and also the basket is the same outside diameter as the inside diameter of this tire. Now, the next step here is you want to make sure this the spokes are lined up or centered properly, right? So let's see, you can focus here. You can kind of see they need to move over to the right just a tad. Well, actually, they're maybe to the left. Actually, I think they're pretty straight. But if they weren't, all you need to do, just take your tweezers and just move it. You know, move it to the left or move it to the right till they're lined up, and that's it. That's it. Oh, it looks like I moved them. So now I get to show you anyways. Okay. Just move them over until they're lined up. And also, this is the reason we cut those burrs off the sides of that rear basket. If you don't cut those off and you need to align these spokes, it ain't gonna move. Those burrs are gonna catch on the tire and it's not gonna go anywhere. So let's see if they're lined up. Yeah, it looks pretty lined up to me. Yeah, it looks good. Okay. All right. And then your next step is basically just dropping the rear rim in. And all you need to do for that, get a little bit of glue on the inside of the tire. That's it. No glue on the basket, just the tire, like so. Yeah, like that. And then you take your rear rim and just drop it in there. Just like that. Until it's flush with the edge of the tire. Alright? Look at that. Beautiful. Okay. Now, the next step, the knockoffs. So, I'm going to start by showing you how I detail the chip. So, I've got one here. Right there. Okay, I'm going to use that one. So I use these Sharpie pins. Okay, fine tip. You can do whatever colors you want, but I'm doing red. And and you basically just color it in. Go around. Is that focused? I can't tell if it's focused or not, but just go around, get some color on there. And once that dries, which I got a dry one over here ready to show you. Once that dries, I use these God hands. This is an old one. These are used for rubbing out your paint job. Once they're worn out, I keep them, and I use them for stuff like this. So you've got your dried ink on here. Just take your God hands, rub it across. There's a 10,000 grit. Rub it across there a few times, and it'll get all the extra ink off and give you a nice clean chip. Son of a bitch, isn't working very well for some reason. Normally this is a lot easier. There we go, almost there. Okay. Let's see if we can focus in. There we go. Look at that, beautiful. And as far as removing the chip, you can twist it around, but what I like to do is use these shears, and this might be kind of hard to get under the camera, but here we go. Yeah, just cut that thing off. Just cut it out of there. And if you're using shears, be careful. You don't want to keep going and cut the knockoff in half. But there we go. I didn't do a very good job of that either. Didn't get close enough. There we go. All right. Whoops. Okay. So, now that you've got your chip, you want to get that little burr off of it. So, grab it with your tweezers, and try not to touch the stuff with tweezers too much because it will scratch the surface, but sometimes it's necessary. And then these are like some kind of plastic coated pliers. I like to use these. They won't scratch the etch, and you can get it in there. Get it in there and hold on to it tight. Yeah, this is really hard to do when I'm looking through a phone and stuff. Okay, try this again. Get it in there, like that. And you want to just file that little burr off of there. Go this way. You don't ever want to go this way because the etch will get stuck in the grooves of the file and bend. So always go this way. There we go, that's good enough. All right. Now, it's gonna be easier to put the chip on the knockoff while it's attached to the tree still. So this is a good chance. If you got fingerprints on there, just wipe them off and get that knockoff clean. Okay, and probably gonna need some more glue again. No, this will work. Oh yeah. Okay. So just a little dot of glue right in the center of that knockoff, and this glue is set up. This glue's set up for a couple minutes already, which is good. Because if you don't line this up properly the first time, which you probably won't, there's a good chance you'll smear the glue around when you're doing it. So let's grab that chip again. Okay, get a hold of your chip. Okay, and just drop it on top of that knockoff. Ah, okay. And it's not lined up, obviously, as you can see, but that's easy fix. Just move it over with a toothpick. Press it down first, get it flat, and then just rotate it. Push it down, and rotate again. Basically, just move it around until it's lined up straight and it's evenly in the center of the knockoff. There, that looks good. And maybe rotate a little. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. See that? Okay. And I've got one of those over here already dry as well. Where did I put that? Ah, here. Okay. Okay, so see that? Best way to get these off, just push it from the back. As far as you can. Bring it back the other way. Push it through the back side. Eventually it's going to break loose. Boom. Alright. And you've got your knockoff. Looks like the chip moved a little bit. I think this might actually be the one I just glued. Huh. Wonder where the other one went. Oh. I guess it's right here. This is the one I was trying to get off of here. Okay, let's do that again. Push it through the back, etc. Break it loose. Okay. And we'll grab, which one of these wheels was I using? Oh, here. Okay. Then grab your wheel assembly, and let's see if we can still use this glue. It's set up pretty good. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna mix up some glue again. Alright. Okay. Just a little bit of glue on the top of that nipple of the hub. And personally, I like to let the glue set up for a couple minutes. I'm using 5-minute epoxy. I like to let it sit up for a couple minutes so that dot's nice and tacky. But for the video purposes, I'm just gonna hurry up and get it on there. So grab your KO, and this part's kind of tricky. They always like to fall. You know what? Let's try this. Let's try like that. Okay, let's see. The goal here is to get it right on the center and stick to that glue, and then you can move it around from there. Ah, Yeah, I did a pretty good job there. Okay. All right. And then basically just push down on the center, get it flat on that hub. And then you're going to want to look at it from the top and make sure it's lined up properly. So it looks like it's kind of a little bit high. So just push it down a little bit from the side. That looks pretty good. And you can rotate, you can check it from the side too. It looks like it's a little raised on this side, but I can't really tell because I'm looking through a phone and it's making it rather difficult. Yeah, it looks like it's leaning. Anyways, just move it around until it looks like it's in the center and not crooked, okay? And when you're done, it should look like this, basically. This is the finished product. Pretty nice. And there's the back side. And as far as the back side of this hub goes, this aluminum is really soft, so if you need that hole to be bigger, you can always drill that out with a metal drill bit of some sort and like a pin vise. You can make that bigger. If it needs to be smaller, I don't know, your SOL, I guess. But yeah, I think these are real nice. That's it.